The morning sun rises gently over the quiet neighborhood. Birds sing softly as the world slowly wakes. Margaret sits by her window, a cup of tea warming her hands. Her reflection on the glass shows kind eyes and a calm smile. She remembers how easily she used to move years ago. Now her body feels a little slower, a little stiffer. The stairs take longer, the garden feels farther away. But today feels different. She takes a deep breath and lets it go with intention. There's a quiet promise in that breath to begin again. Not with running or heavy lifting, but with something gentle. Stretching. Simple, mindful, steady stretching. She rolls her shoulders back and feels a soft pull. A reminder that movement still lives inside her. Outside, the leaves sway like they're moving with her rhythm. Each breath grows deeper, each motion lighter. Her body begins to remember what comfort feels like. It's not about youth, it's about presence. It's about returning to the harmony between strength and stillness. Margaret smiles again, ready to rediscover her balance, one stretch at a time. Margaret steps into her living room, where soft morning light spills across the floor. The air feels cool, quiet, full of unspoken beginnings. She places her cup down and takes a slow breath. Her hands rest on her hips, steady, confident, though her knees tremble slightly. She looks around the room, her safe little world filled with memories. Photographs of her children, old books stacked by the window, a faded rug beneath her feet. It all feels still, but something inside her wants to move again. To wake up every muscle that has waited patiently through the years. She thinks of the walks by the lake she once loved. The sound of gravel under her shoes, the cool wind brushing her cheeks. Those memories feel close now, like they're whispering her name. She lifts her arms slowly, feeling the tightness in her shoulders. It's not pain, but a reminder that time has been passing quietly. Her body speaks to her in sensations, soft stretches, gentle resistance, tender release. Every small movement is like saying hello to herself again. She smiles, amused at how a simple stretch can feel so meaningful. Her breathing deepens. Inhale, exhale. A rhythm begins to form between body and breath. It feels like music, subtle and grounding. The stiffness in her back begins to ease, little by little. She moves her head from side to side, the way she used to before long days of teaching. Back then, she never thought about flexibility or balance. She simply had it. It was part of being alive, part of youth. Now it's something to be nurtured, tended like a small flame. She bends forward slightly, hands resting on her thighs. Her spine elongates, her breath follows. The movement feels like remembering. Her body has not forgotten. It only waited for her to listen again. She straightens, rolls her shoulders back and laughs softly. There's no rush, no need to prove anything. Each stretch is a conversation, quiet and honest. Her muscles respond with warmth, her joints with gratitude. It's as if every cell wakes up and greets the morning with her. Outside, the light grows brighter. The sound of a passing bicycle drifts through the window. Margaret feels connected to the air, to the day, to herself. For the first time in a while, she feels both grounded and free. She realizes stretching is not just a routine. It's a way of honoring her body for all it has carried. The weight of years, the laughter, the long walks, the countless mornings like this. She moves again, slower this time, savoring each moment. Her fingers reach gently toward the ceiling. Her spine lifts with grace. Her body sways softly, following her breath like a dance. A dance of patience, awareness, and renewal. When she lowers her arms, she feels lighter, not in body but in spirit. She closes her eyes and stands still for a moment. Her heart beats steadily, calm and strong. Margaret whispers to herself, "This is how I begin again." And with that, the day truly starts. The next morning arrives quietly, painted in soft gold and gray. Margaret sits on her mat, her back straight, her breath steady. She's beginning to understand that stretching is more than movement. It's a language her body speaks when words fall silent. Each motion tells a story of strength, patience, and healing. She once thought exercise was about speed, numbers, and results. Now she sees it's about connection, about feeling every breath. Stretching teaches her to slow down and listen. Her arms extend forward, fingers reaching like sunlight. She feels a tender pull in her shoulders, gentle but alive. Her body hums with quiet energy, like a song she almost forgot. The muscles, once tight and silent, begin to open. It's not about pushing harder, it's about surrendering softly. Margaret thinks about how her body has always supported her. Through decades of work, love, and change, it never stops showing up. She realizes stretching is her way of saying thank you. A thank you for every morning that still begins with breath. For every heartbeat that reminds her she's still growing. The room feels warmer now, touched by the rhythm of her motion. Her movements flow naturally, guided by something deeper. She bends, lifts, reaches, each action small but full of grace. She imagines her blood flowing freely, carrying light through every limb. Her heart feels stronger, her joints a little freer. Balance begins not with the body, but with awareness. Stretching makes her aware of how she stands, how she breathes, how she feels. It's as if her senses sharpen with every inhale and exhale. She feels the mat beneath her palms, the air brushing her face. The smallest sensations become her teachers. She understands now why stretching is called mindful movement. Because in each slow reach, the mind and body meet again. She remembers her doctor once saying that flexibility fades with age. But as she stretches, she smiles. It doesn't fade, she thinks, it just waits to be awakened. Her hands reach behind her back, fingers clasping gently. She lifts her chest, opens her shoulders, breathes deeply. A wave of calm spreads through her, warm and familiar. She holds the stretch for a moment, then releases slowly. Her body thanks her with softness, not strain. There's power in gentleness, she realizes. Strength isn't only in lifting, but in letting go. She looks at the clock, only 10 minutes have passed. But it feels like she's traveled through an entire journey. A journey inside herself, guided by movement and breath. She stands again, taller this time, lighter in spirit. Her reflection smiles back from the window's faint shine. She feels proud, not for how far she stretched, but for showing up. Stretching has become her morning ritual, her quiet conversation. Not about youth, not about age, just about being alive. Margaret takes one last breath, long and calm. Her body feels open, her heart full of peace. And in that stillness, she realizes this too is strength. The third morning begins with silence and soft light through the curtains. Margaret sits cross-legged on her mat, hands resting gently on her knees. She has learned something new. Everything begins with breath. Before movement, before thought, there is always breath. She closes her eyes and inhales slowly, feeling air fill her lungs. The breath expands her chest, lifting her shoulders gently. She exhales, letting the air flow out like a quiet release. Her body softens, her mind follows. Each breath becomes a rhythm, a steady melody inside her. It reminds her that she is still connected to something bigger. Breathing feels simple, yet it changes everything. She notices the air moving through her nose, the rise of her belly. Her heartbeat slows, her shoulders loosen. The tension that lived in her muscles begins to fade. Breath is her first stretch, she thinks, and smiles softly. She breathes again, this time longer, deeper, fuller. With every inhale, her mind clears a little more. With every exhale, her worries drift away. The past feels distant, the future quiet, only this moment remains. She opens her eyes slowly, calm but awake. Her movements now follow her breath like a dance. She lifts her arms as she inhales, feeling her ribs expand, then lowers them as she exhales, feeling her spine relax. It's a gentle wave, a movement guided by life itself. She begins to stretch her neck, breathing into each turn. The breath leads, the body listens. It feels like conversation, calm, patient, full of care. She realizes she has never truly breathed like this before. For years, she rushed through days without noticing the air inside her. Now each breath feels sacred, deliberate, kind. Her hands rest over her heart, feeling its steady rhythm. She whispers softly, "Thank you." The sound barely leaves her lips, but she feels it deeply. The room feels warmer now, brighter even. She stretches her spine with the next inhale, tall and proud. On the exhale, she folds forward gently, letting go of weight. It's more than movement, it's trust. Trust that her breath will guide her exactly where she needs to go. She stays there for a few moments, breathing with the earth beneath her. Her mind drifts, but the breath keeps her anchored. She rises slowly, each motion calm and steady. Inhaling strength, exhaling ease. Her body feels balanced, her thoughts clear. It's a simple truth. The breath is both anchor and freedom. She begins to understand that balance doesn't come from effort. It comes from harmony between breath and motion, between stillness and flow. Margaret finishes her sequence, standing tall, eyes closed. Her breath moves through her like a soft river. She feels grounded, calm, and profoundly alive. Breathing, she thinks, is not just living. It's remembering how to be present. And as she exhales one last time, she feels completely at peace. The morning light is softer today, golden and kind. Margaret stands near the window, her mat rolled out beneath her feet. She feels ready to move, not fast, not forceful, just flowing. Her breath steadies, her shoulders relax, and her mind grows quiet. Today, she will stretch her whole body from head to toe. It feels like beginning a quiet dance with the morning air. She starts with her neck, tilting gently from side to side. Each motion feels like a whisper of release, light and freeing. Then her arms rise slowly toward the ceiling, reaching for warmth. Her fingers spread wide, her spine lengthens with grace. The air fills her lungs, her chest opens, and her body remembers. She exhales, lowering her arms, letting tension melt away. Next, she rolls her shoulders, slow circles of calm movement. The small joints loosen, the muscles hum in gentle rhythm. She bends slightly at the waist, her hands resting on her thighs. Her back stretches, long and steady, her breath flowing through. She feels the stretch ripple through her spine, awakening each vertebra. It's a sensation of comfort, not effort, soft but strong. Margaret straightens slowly, taking a moment to steady her balance. Her feet press into the mat, grounding her with quiet strength. She bends sideways, one hand sliding down her leg, the other reaching high. The stretch opens her ribs, expands her breath, and lifts her spirit. The body moves like water, flowing with intention and ease. She switches sides, feeling balance return, gentle and centered. Her breath deepens, her face softens. Each movement feels smoother than the last. She begins a forward fold, arms reaching down toward her toes. Her back rounds gently, her head bows in surrender. She doesn't force, she simply breathes and allows. Her fingertips brush the floor, her body responding in gratitude. When she rises, she feels taller, as if her spine has grown lighter. The next stretch is seated, calm and grounding. She sits cross-legged, stretching her arms forward, then to the sides. Her hips open, her back releases, her breath guides her rhythm. The mat beneath her feels like earth, strong and patient. She reaches for her toes, bending forward in a gentle pull. The muscles in her legs awaken, The blood begins to flow freely. Every stretch connects her, head, heart, and body, in one motion. She moves to her ankles, rotating them in soft circles. Her joints loosen, her toes flex and curl. Even the smallest parts of her body deserve care and attention. She feels energy travel downward, steady and soothing. When she finally sits upright, her entire body feels alive. The stiffness is gone, replaced by warmth and quiet strength. Her breath flows easily, like a breeze through open windows. Margaret smiles, her body humming with light. This full-body stretch feels like a renewal of spirit. She has learned that the body remembers kindness more than effort. Each stretch is not a test, but a conversation. And as she finishes, she whispers softly, "I am whole." Her hands rest over her heart, and the morning feels complete. The afternoon sun filters gently through the curtains, warm and golden. Margaret stands in the middle of her living room, feet planted firmly. She takes a deep breath, feeling the floor solid beneath her toes. Balance, she thinks, begins here, not in the legs but in the center. Her hands rest lightly on her stomach, feeling each rise and fall. The core, her teacher once said, is the quiet power within us. It's what keeps us steady when the world around us shifts. She remembers the first time she tried standing on one foot. Her body wobbled, her arms flailed, her laughter filled the room. Now she smiles at the memory, ready to try again. She lifts one foot, holding a chair beside her for gentle support. The first seconds feel uncertain, like standing on moving air. But then her breath steadies, her muscles awaken, her body finds rhythm. Her toes press down, her leg holds firm, her core engages softly. She feels tall, strong, alive in this quiet challenge. A few breaths later, she lowers her foot, calm and composed. Her balance feels like a quiet victory, small but meaningful. She switches sides, her weight shifting slowly and smoothly. The second time feels easier, her body remembers. Margaret realizes that balance isn't about perfection. It's about patience, awareness, and a willingness to try again. She moves into a gentle heel-to-toe walk, slow and mindful. Each step is deliberate, her gaze steady, her breath even. She feels the strength rising from her center, guiding her steps. The motion is almost meditative, calm, steady, pure. Her mind focuses on the rhythm of movement and breath. The body and soul working quietly in harmony. She finishes the walk and stands still, eyes closed, breathing deeply. A soft warmth spreads from her belly to her shoulders. Her balance, her strength, her stillness, all born from within. She sits on her mat again, her heart light with contentment. The exercises aren't hard, yet they change everything. They remind her that control is not about force but connection. When she engages her core gently, her entire posture changes. She feels taller, steadier, more confident in every motion. The fear of falling fades, replaced by quiet assurance. She no longer doubts her body, she listens to it instead. Her hands rest on her thighs, palms open to the air. Balance, she realizes, is a dialogue between the body and the earth. Each breath roots her deeper, each movement lifts her higher. It's a dance of trust, steady feet, strong core, calm mind. Margaret feels gratitude swelling inside her chest. She whispers softly, "I am supported." The words echo gently through the stillness. Her heart beats steady, her spine aligned, her breath smooth. Every moment spent stretching, breathing, balancing has brought her here. Not just to physical strength, but to inner harmony. She smiles, her eyes soft, her soul quiet. Balance is not something she finds, it's something she grows. And with every step, she feels more rooted in her own strength. The next morning feels calm, the sky painted in soft silver light. Margaret opens her window, letting the cool air touch her face. The world feels quiet, almost suspended in stillness. She rolls out her mat once more, ready for another gentle practice. But today, something feels different, deeper, more connected. She's no longer just stretching her body, she's stretching her spirit. Her breath begins slow and steady, guiding her like a gentle tide. As she moves, her thoughts drift softly, like clouds across the morning. She remembers how hard it was to start, how stiff her body once felt. Now each motion feels familiar, like coming home to herself. Her muscles respond with ease, her joints glide without effort. It's not strength she feels, it's harmony. The connection between her mind, her breath, and her body is seamless. She lifts her arms above her head, inhaling a wave of calm. Exhaling, she folds forward, releasing what no longer serves her. The sound of her breath fills the room, steady and peaceful. She realizes that stretching is more than movement, it's meditation. Every inhale is a renewal, every exhale a letting go. Her thoughts quiet down, replaced by awareness. The present moment becomes everything, full, rich, alive. She feels the ground beneath her palms, cool and solid. It reminds her that she is supported, anchored in this moment. Her breath deepens again, filling her chest with gratitude. Margaret thinks about how far she has come. Not in distance, but in stillness. She used to chase results, to measure progress by how far she could reach. Now she measures it by how deeply she can feel. Her hands move to her heart, the rhythm steady beneath her fingers. It beats softly, strong and constant, a quiet companion. She smiles, eyes closed, breathing in peace. Her mind drifts to her garden, the flowers swaying gently in the breeze. She imagines herself like those flowers, rooted, balanced, open to light. Stretching has taught her not just movement, but acceptance. To honor her body, her pace, her story. There is beauty in gentleness, she realizes. Power in patience. She sits cross-legged, palms resting upward on her knees. Her spine lengthens, her shoulders soften, her eyes grow calm. For the first time, she feels no separation between thought and motion. Her body and soul speak the same language now, stillness. Every breath feels like gratitude, every exhale like peace. She whispers softly, "Thank you, body, thank you, breath." The room feels alive with quiet energy, warm and light. Outside, the wind carries the scent of rain and earth. She listens, just breathing, letting the world move around her. The lesson is simple but profound. The body follows the breath, the heart follows awareness. And together, they lead her home to herself. Margaret opens her eyes, her gaze soft and clear. She feels both grounded and free, strong yet serene. This is not just exercise, it's a way of living. A gentle harmony between movement, breath, and gratitude. She bows her head slightly, smiling. Her journey of stretching has become a journey of peace. The sun begins to set, painting the room in soft amber light. Margaret sits quietly on her mat, her breath calm and slow. The day feels full, not from doing but from being. Her body feels warm, open, alive in its gentle rhythm. She closes her eyes and listens to the steady beat of her heart. It reminds her that strength isn't loud, it's steady, patient, kind. Each stretch, each breath, has brought her closer to herself. She feels gratitude rise softly, like a tide within her chest. The stiffness that once limited her has turned into flow. The fear of losing balance has become a quiet trust. She smiles, realizing she's learned to move through life the same way. With breath, with presence, with grace. Outside, the evening breeze whispers through the trees. She inhales deeply, the air cool and grounding. Her body feels light, her spirit peaceful. Margaret whispers softly, "This is where I belong." She stays there, eyes closed, heart open. No rush, no resistance, only calm awareness. Balance, tone, peace, all woven together in one simple truth. Movement is life, and life, she thinks, is still beautifully hers.